rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you? Learn something from this.
Today, we're counting down our picks for the most disturbing and shocking things about Tyra Banks' modelling competition. Number 10, racially insensitive photo shoots.
The challenge here really is taking on the persona of that other ethnicity.
Contestants in Cycle 10 were tasked with posing as unhoused people, while real people experiencing homelessness were made to wear high fashion and model next to them. Even worse, though, were the photo shoots from Cycle 4 and 13, where the models had to don varying degrees of brown, black, and yellow face in order to portray a different race than their own. It's horrible to watch, especially as the models who dared to question the task was shut down. Number 9, perpetuating the worst things about the fashion industry.
It's like a Hitchcock film. Go back and forth really fast to see what I mean.
The judges often got away with saying some of the most insensitive and callous things under the guise of it being the status quo in the fashion industry. Comments about models' looks, weight, and willingness to do anything that was asked of them was chalked up to a crash course in learning the business. Longtime judge Janice Dickinson was especially infamous for making these kinds of comments. Number 8, transphobia on the set. However, in both of her appearances on the show, King was misgendered and met with skepticism, as well as downright hostility by her fellow competitors.
At first, the girls were bombarding me with questions about me transitioning from one gender to another.
King has since looked back on the behaviour and stressed how queer representation has evolved in media, but also expressed that no one ever came to her rescue on the show at the time. Number 7, no time for grief.
I don't even remember being in that room getting my picture taken. All I remember is trying to hold, my tears.
Cycle 8 saw the contestants taking part in a lurid photo shoot where they posed as murder victims. The challenge was especially difficult for J.L. Strauss, whose friend had recently passed away as a result of substance use disorder. Something similar happened to Cycle 4's Carlin Rondot when her cast was asked to do a photo shoot in an open grave after she'd also just lost a friend. In fact, Strauss was criticised for thinking of it during the shoot, and Rondot knew her place in the competition would be in jeopardy if she didn't participate. Number 6, uncomfortable photo shoots. Any sign of discomfort, weakness, or hesitation is seen as the height of disrespect to the competition. Never mind that these photo shoots routinely expose the models to freezing temperatures, extreme heat, or otherwise painful situations. Cycle 4's Kenya Hill was harassed on set and then treated like a problem for stopping the shoot.
I don't feel bad about stopping the shoot at all. Rachini has crossed that profession online, and I feel extremely uncomfortable.
Her fellow contestants, creative director Jay Manuel, and even Banks didn't take her seriously. Number 5, contestants aren't paid well. Fans were shocked when Cycle 9 contestant Sarah Hartshorn revealed just how dire the situation was. According to her, contestants on her season were given $40 a day and had to pay for their own food.
After the show, we were put in a hotel. We weren't allowed to leave. We could only get room service, and we had to pay for that ourselves.
For a show where participants didn't get a cut of the residuals or even appearance fees, it's a total slap in the face. Number 4, dangerous runways. Some of the runway challenges on America's Next Top Model were clearly designed by sadists. The swinging pendulums of Cycle 14 almost sent Alexandra Underwood flying into the audience. Cycle 6 winner Danielle Evans' time in the competition was nearly cut short when an ill-advised runway walk with 10-inch heels made her sprain her toe. Ow, ow, ow. While some real fashion shows may ask something extra of its models, these twists seemed way out of proportion. Number 3, a winner was once stripped of her crown. The All-Stars cycle of America's Next Top Model came down to Angeli Preston, Alison Harvard, and Lisa D'Amato. In the final episode, Preston was disqualified, and D'Amato was declared the winner. However, fans would later find out that Preston had originally been crowned the winner, but was disqualified due to her past as a sex worker.
We're just gonna fly out to North Carolina, and you just see how, like going out on dates. But when I get there, it wasn't that at all.
She would later sue over the ordeal, alleging underpayment and exploitative working conditions. Number 2, the makeovers are often painful and unwanted. Cycle 8's J.L. Strauss was made to undergo a painful weave installation that didn't take, and left her in both physical and emotional distress. Cycle 6's Joni Dodds had to sit in for hours of corrective dental surgery and still compete against the others in a challenge the next day. Apparent double standards made these potentially life-damaging alterations seem all the more unnecessary. For example, Banks wanted Cycle 6 winner Danielle Evans to have her tooth gap closed, only to recommend Cycle 15's Chelsea Hersley have her gap widened.
If you agree, we'd love to exaggerate that and take you a little bit more to Lauren Hutton.
Number 1, winning doesn't equal a modelling career. For everything these models had to go through, surely winning the show had to be worth it. Unfortunately, for a show that purports to find the next top supermodel, very few winners have achieved the status. For every Eva Marcel or Niall DeMarco, there are a whole host of winners who never got to make their mark. Some have even been surpassed by contestants who didn't win, like Winnie Harlow, Leo Tipton, and Yaya DaCosta.
Really didn't do anything for my career, which it doesn't do anything for any model's career, realistically.